Hi everyone. So a lot of people are asking me that which phone they should buy, which phone I use, which is the best value phone, which is the best Android phone, and a lot of questions like this. It's the end of the year, so I just want to share my experience. It's not any sort of review. I just want to tell you my experience throughout the year with smartphones and which are my two favorite smartphones this year. So I did use some phones this year, and I can only use as many phones I can purchase because I don't get review units. So in the starting of the year, I was using Galaxy S10, then I purchased Samsung M31. The main reason I wanted to use a cheaper Samsung phone that I wanted to compare that how the mid-range device stack up to the flagship. Then I switched to Pixel 2 XL, which my partner was using, and I gave her my S10 because I wanted to keep it. I'm not going to talk about Pixel 2 XL because it's an old phone, but just want to say two things about it. Great phone, pathetic display. Then I switched to Samsung S20 and I gave my Pixel 2 XL as an exchange for that device. So after I purchased Samsung S20, all I did was rant about it, and a lot of people were saying I was whining, and I agreed, but they don't understand that how disappointing it is that I want to purchase a phone with good specification, but I can't do that. And also because of the lockdown, we couldn't even import it from outside. Samsung S20 with Snapdragon version could have been a dream phone for me this year, but I loved the display on S20 and that 120Hz refresh rate made it feel a lot smoother. But we couldn't use that 120Hz refresh rate with Quad HD. That's why I wanted to purchase OnePlus 8 Pro, but that device got delayed a lot, also that display issue. And the weight distribution was not good at all, so I dropped the idea of purchasing OnePlus 8 Pro. I did try some cheaper options after that, like I purchased Motorola One Fusion Plus, and I used that phone for almost a month. Now my mother is using it. So that was a Snapdragon phone that I used after a very long time. Though it was a mid-tier Snapdragon 730G, but the performance was surprising to me. It was cool as cucumber and the battery life was amazing. I actually thought of ditching my S20 because of it, but there was just two reasons that I didn't switch to Moto One Fusion Plus: the size and the camera. It was a very heavy phone and the camera was also below average compared to the competition. But with stock Android, it was an amazing phone. And then the Note 20 series launched in India with the same Exynos 990 and no improvements at all. And let's not even talk about Note 20. Well, actually no one talks about it anyway. Don't get me wrong, Note 20 Ultra is an amazing phone, but I was not going to pay 1 lakh rupees, or as you can say $1,300 for an Exynos version. I'm sorry for the people who did. I'm sure you didn't know. I actually did buy a Samsung phone, but way cheaper. So I purchased Samsung M31s, and I'm not gonna lie, it was a great phone and my dad is using it right now. The display at that price and the camera was amazing. The only problem was Exynos 9611. It was way too slow for me. So moral of the story, Samsung phones are great, but Exynos chips are bad. So I had to go back to S20. And at this point, I was just waiting for one phone, Pixel 4a. It was launched in US, but there was no date in India. And I started dreaming about it. No, I know it's too much, but I start dreaming about a phone which I want and it's not available. But anyway, in meanwhile, One UI 2.5 update came and a lot of users claimed that their issues were resolved. Not for me. Also, the prices of S20 series dropped drastically. It was very difficult to get a good value out of my S20 because in less than 8 months, my phone value dropped less than half. I have nothing against Samsung and I would have been still using a S20 or S20 Fan Edition if it came with Snapdragon. Anyway, Pixel 4a came on sale as the same day as Samsung S20 FE, so I purchased it. So this is my first favorite phone of this year. It's a basic phone with everything you need, so it's perfect. It's not perfect because it's an exceptional phone or it has all the specification that a flagship has. It's a basic phone with everything you need, like a great display, great camera for photos, great battery life, one-handed use, and above average processor which works beautifully with vanilla Android. But I did not recommend this phone to everyone because of mainly two reasons. One, that this phone is not available anywhere, and the second, I was concerned about the service because there's no official service center in India. So I recently reviewed this phone and I wasn't expecting a lot of views on it because it got already late in India and it's not available anywhere, so why would even watch it? Also, Google increased the prices of the Google Pixel 4a after the initial launch, so it makes me sad that Google could have achieved something better this year with this Google Pixel 4a. I don't want to sell this phone even though it's not my primary device anymore. I was using a single number before, but because of that I purchased a new SIM. And there's one another reason for that and I'll come back to that later. But I really wanted Google to launch this phone early because I didn't get enough time with it. So now it's time for my second favorite phone. So if you follow me, you know what it is. My iPhone 12, and this is my primary device right now. If you would have asked me a month ago that I'll be using an iPhone as my primary device, I would have laughed. Well, I still do, but at myself. Anyway, after the iPhone 12 series was announced, two things struck me. One, that this is going to be the last great phone of this year, so I should at least review it. And second, that iPhone 12 is giving a great value for your money. Yes, I still think iPhone 12 is a better value, even though I'm considering iPhone SE and iPhone 12 mini. They both are great devices, but they do compromise on battery. Also, I think the typing experience on a smaller screen will not be as great. See, I have always been an Android guy, and every time I picked an iPhone, I got bored within seconds. I felt like there's nothing much I can do with iOS, and I know a lot of people think the same way, and I don't disagree with you guys. It's just I think it has been improved a lot. It's still not on Android level, but it's much better. Now I get to customize this phone a bit to my liking. I can have a blank screen on this phone where I can just put a wallpaper. Before that you couldn't do it, you have to put all the apps in a folder and keep it in the dock. I could be wrong because this is my first iPhone. There are still some things that bother me, and I will talk about that in my full review, but I can say that one thing. If I was not a tech reviewer, I wouldn't have purchased this phone. And even if I was not a tech reviewer, I would keep this phone and be happy with it for years. As I said, I would have been laughing if you asked me that I'm going to use an iPhone. But this is my primary device now until next iPhone, and my secondary SIM will be an Android device. If I like something better than this iPhone, I'll be switching it to my primary device, but otherwise, this is a phone to beat. In short, Pixel 4a and iPhone 12 are the best phone I've used this year. See, I cannot comment on Pixel 4a 5G and Pixel 5 as they did not launch in India. Also, I can't comment on Samsung phone with Snapdragon because same. Please let me know if I missed any device that would have changed my mind. And please do not talk about Samsung in India. I wouldn't even pay half the price what they are asking for. See, I understand that it's a great phone for a lot of people in that price bracket, but I can pay more for a Snapdragon version and I don't have an option right now. Stay tuned for my iPhone 12 review where I'm going to tell my experience to switching to iOS. Also, I'll be waiting for new devices to come so that I can compare the camera of iPhone 12 with them. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. Also subscribe to my channel if you want to watch the content my style. My name is Rohit. I'll see you in the next one. Till then,